Hello everyone, welcome back to Tony D's Music Channel. So once again we come to October 9th, a very sad, solemn day when we all remember John Lennon. And because it's John Lennon's birthday, I thought I would start off my series of John Lennon album reviews and start off and talk about Plastic Ono Band, John Lennon's first proper solo album from 1970. I was 15 when I got this from the Best Buy store on the weekend, and I didn't know about the events that led to the album being created at that time. That was long before I really started to read everything about the history of the Beatles and John Lennon. But these songs are very provocative. These songs are minimalistic in their arrangements. It's just John, Klaus Voormann on bass, Ringo on drums, Phil Spector on piano on one song. And the lyrics of these songs detail what was going on with John after he went to primal scream therapy with a psychiatrist named Dr. Arthur Janov. Now, you should not trust Arthur Janov. It's been reported that he believed in gay conversion therapy, which makes him a homophobic jackass, so we do not like him. But because of this primal scream therapy, he got John to release emotions that he felt when he was a little boy. And John had a very traumatic childhood. Many of us did. We can relate to that. John's mother could not raise him on her own. She was not very responsible. She was promiscuous. Not that that's wrong, but she couldn't do both. She would have, when John was very young, she had him sleeping in the same bed with her lover. That's not right. That's why her sister Mary stepped in. Well, Mary also went by Minnie. She stepped in and got child services to take away custody from his mother Julia. John's dad Alfred wanted to be there, but Julia and Aunt Mimi kept him away by lying to him. So he was raised by his aunt, and then when he was 12, 13 years old, he discovered that his mother had 2 daughters by a different man. And you can imagine that made him feel rejected and betrayed, like she didn't want him. And so that's what formed the songs on this album. He went through this primal scream therapy, and that's what formed all these songs. It starts off with the beautiful, very sad song Mother, which starts off with a bell, and then it's Mother, you had me, but I never had you. I wanted you, but you didn't want me. So I gotta tell you, goodbye. And then Father, you left me. That's a very sad song. I absolutely, and John just screams the lyrics of these songs by the end. And I really think this song and this album are what led to grunge rock 20 years later in the 90s. Mama, don't go. Daddy, come home. Children, don't do what I've done. So he blamed himself for his mother not being there for him. It's very sad. Fun fact, Christina Aguilera did a beautiful cover of the song Mother that if you want to, you should check out sometime. And the second track is Hold On John. Again, it's psychotherapy set to music. He's telling himself to hold on. He's going to get through what life is giving him. Hold on, John. John, hold on. It's going to be all right. You're going to win the fight. You're gonna make it fly. When you're by yourself and there's no one else, just have yourself. And you tell yourself to hold on. It's really emotional, this song. Another fun fact, in 2011, his son Julian Lennon had a song called Hold On, which I think is gorgeous. That's a gorgeous song. But that's another review for another time. I love Julian Lennon's music. And a lot of the songs on this album are very melancholy, very sad. But the one issue I have with this is that a few of these songs are very, very angry. That's what John was feeling at that time. And track 3 is I Found Out, a very angry song, where he's lashing out at people who he felt betrayed him. And sadly, one of those people was Paul McCartney, who he thought betrayed him for not being there and not being a friend of Yoko. He didn't like that Paul did not take warmly to Yoko when they first met. He sings, I told you before, stay away from my door. Don't give me that brother. So I think he's also talking about these radicals who wanted him in their movement. He was upset with them as well. There ain't no Jesus gonna see through the sky. Now that I've found I know I can cry. Talking about the pump screen therapy. And there's a very strange lyric in here about your cock. Some of you sitting there with your cock in your hand, don't get you nowhere, don't make you a man. Why did John take issue with masturbation? Come on, John. That's just a weird thing to say, isn't it? I've seen them junkies, I've been through hell, I've seen religion from Jesus to Paul. Why did you say that, John? Why? You know that Paul McCartney was not some Jesus figure. I think he was just jealous of all the women who loved Paul. Oh, John. It's so sad you were so jealous. The ladies loved him too. I don't know why he was so jealous about Paul. But Paul did not respond to that for a while. And then we get to one of my favorites on this album. And one of my favorite songs John Lennon ever wrote, period. Working Class Hero. It's just him on acoustic guitar and his voice. As soon as you're born, they make you feel small by giving you no time instead of it all, till the pain is so big you feel nothing at all. A working class hero is something to be. They hurt you at home and they hit you at school. They hate you with your clever and they despise a fool till you're so fucking crazy you can't follow their rules. And keep you dope with religion and sex on TV. And you think you're so clever and classless and free. But you're still fucking peasants as far as I can see. It's been 20 years since I heard this album and the song. I still don't know what the peasants line is about. Who are the peasants and who is fucking them? I don't know. When they've tortured and scared you for 20 odd years, then they expect you to pick a career. When you can't really function, you're so full of fear. There's room at the top, they are telling you still. But first you must learn how to smile as you kill. If you want to be like the folks on the hill. A working class hero is something to be. If you want to be a hero, well, just follow me. Very strange lyrics, I will admit, yes. But he's making great statements about society and our hypocrisy. About those who throw a stigma around clever children as opposed to just obedient children. And he's talking about how tricky it is when it's they tell you to pick a career, but you really don't fit in with society. I think that's what he's getting at here. And it's so hard to pick a career, so he says, when your childhood has been so traumatic. And the next track, like I said before, is one of my favorites of John's of all time. And it's Isolation. And here he was singing about the issues that he and Yoko faced as a couple. And feeling like nobody was on their side in all their political activism or in their love. And even beyond the vocals, this is one of John's best songs ever in terms of his vocal performance. It's out of this world. He sings, "People say we got it made. Don't they know we're so afraid? Isolation. We're afraid to be alone. Everybody got to have a home. Isolation. Just a boy and a little girl trying to change the whole wide world. Isolation. The world is just a little town. Everybody trying to put us down. Isolation." And then this part he screams, "I don't expect you to understand after you caused so much pain. But then again, you're not to blame. You're just a human, a victim of the insane. We're afraid of everyone, afraid of the sun. Isolation. The sun will never disappear, but the world may not have many years. Isolation." Again, very obscure lyrics. Some of those I don't really understand. But I will say, Ringo did a fantastic job on drumming on that one. And then we get to one of my favorite songs. Always has been a favorite of mine. And this is called Love. Again, very simple, very minimalist arrangement. It's really just a piano and John's voice. I believe Phil Spector played piano in this. I don't think I'm wrong. Love is real, he sings. Love is feeling. Feeling is love. Love is willing to be loved. Love is touch. Touch is love. Love is needing to be loved. Love is free. Free is love. Love is giving. Giving is love. Just a beautiful, simple love song about love. What more could you ask for than that? And the way he sings it is just so tender and so sweet. I love it. Now the next song on here, another favorite of mine. This is about his childhood. This is him letting his demons free, exposing what he's thought about his parents his whole life, and sort of apologizing and saying it's okay what happened. And that's the song Remember. And this is one of the most rockin' songs in the album. Rockin' is the wrong word, but most eclectic. The way that Ringo is playing the drums, and it's such an exciting song with the drumming in the background. Oh, remember when you were young, how the heroes were never hung, always got away. Remember when the man used to leave you empty-handed? Could be about his father, or just the man in terms of authority in general. Always lay you down. If you ever change your mind about leaving it all behind, remember today. Remember when you were small, how people seemed so tall, always had their way. Remember Ma and Pa, just wishing for movie stardom. Always, always feeling apart. If you ever feel so sad and the whole world it is driving you mad, remember, don't feel sorry for the way it's gone. Don't you worry for what you've done. Now, that part I do think is addressed to his mother and father. Don't worry what you've done. Which means through this promo scream therapy, he accepted what has happened to him. And for people who have faced trauma, accepting is a very difficult and very important thing. And what's so great about this album is that you hear John going through these steps of therapy, and you hear John going through these feelings and emotions. And he may have been the first singer, first rock star, first any of those things to really chronicle his feelings in song like this. You had people before like Buddy Holly or Roy Orbison singing about love and heartache and being vulnerable, but that was nothing compared to what John's saying about on here. And I just think it's inspiring that he did this. I think it's amazing that he had no issue with sharing this with the world in any way at all. It should be an example to men of the world to be able to share their emotions this way. This being emotional like this could really improve the world, I believe. That's why Remember is one of my favorite John Lennon songs, and this is just such a powerful album, this whole album. I absolutely love it so much. I'm remembering now that as a teenager, I would play this album while taking the bus to school. And again, it puts you in a great mind space, I think. And the next track is also very introspective and melancholy, just called Look at Me. It's another one of his best because of how well it's written, where he sings, look at me. Who am I supposed to be? Who am I? Here I am. What am I supposed to do? What can I do for you? Who am I? Who are we? Oh, my love. Nobody knows but me and you. Nobody else can see. I think the you he's referring to could be Yoko Ono. Or it could be the listener. Who knows? I think this is beautiful stuff here. And I don't think this song... I don't think this song was just John guitar, as far as I know. Or remember, no guitar at all. And then we get to another angry track. Well, well, well. This one it's great. If a rocker is what you want, and an angry song is what you want. I took my love out for dinner. She was so beautiful I could eat her. We talked revolutions. And just how we get things done. Well, well, well. Yeah, that's a great song. She looks so beautiful I could eat her. And really the saddest song on the album is just called My Mommy's Dead. It's so sad to listen to. He just sings My Mommy's Dead, I can't get through my head. My mommy's dead. I couldn't really show it. So sad. Of course, as you may know, John's mother was killed in a automobile accident in July 1957 when she was just coming home one night. And then John's friend Nigel just saw this police car run out, and then heard a loud noise, and then saw Julia's body, John's mom, just flying up in the air. And then the final track on the album is God. God is a concept by which we measure our pain, he sings. I'll say it again. God is a concept by which we measure our pain. I don't believe in magic, I Ching, Bible, tarot, Hitler, Jesus, Kennedy, Buddha, mantra, Gira, yoga, Kings, Elvis, Dylan. I don't believe in Beatles. I just believe in me. And that's reality. Yoko and me. Now that song always got to me. As an atheist, I believe he's right that God is a concept which measures our pain. But of course, John was very religious. And I think for him, maybe he didn't mean God in that sense. Perhaps he meant God as in the Beatles. Because he is telling people in the song to forget about Beatles because they just broken up at that point. So that's the album. And it's really hard to rank John Lennon albums. I think this album is absolutely perfect. Now, later on, I'm going to talk about Imagine, an album I'm a huge fan of because it's similar to Plastic Ono Band, but it's a much more easy listen in many ways. It's much more lush. God is an amazing song with Billy Preston, the classic piano keyboard player, doing those amazing fills. But yeah, Plastic Ono Band, really perfect album. Let me know what you think of this in the comments. And I just want to talk about that to celebrate John's birthday again today. Yeah. Happy birthday, John. You will be 85 if you were live with us today. Thank you, everyone.